Welcome back to another Yoga with Sammy and co and friends. Tonight we're doing a spring class, which feels a little funky because we're going into autumn here, but spring definitely, at the time when it's needed, it's going to be something you can draw back on as a resource. So throughout the season of spring, it is a little bit of a transitional period because the seasons are shifting from the really cold, wet, immobile month, then through spring into summer, which is the peak of the heat motion season. So that in between month, it's quite a nice temperature. However, there's that melting of the snow out in nature, which increases the moisture in the atmosphere. The gentle sun as well. So it's the perfect environment for germination, for seeds blossoming, for new growth. But when you think about new growth, it's not just like everything blossoms effortlessly. If you look at the birthing process itself, whether it's in animals or the seedlings popping through the dirt, there is that kind of like, emergence, the rajasic kind of pressing through something and action and bursting into creativity or bursting into creation, and then there's an unfurling from there as well. So that, like through our spring season, I think once we get into peak spring, it feels like, wow, this is the best thing ever. I feel on top of the world. But there is a little bit of a period there where we will go through maybe some hay fever or some congestion and feeling a little bit like we're waking up from hibernation, and it's a little bit of a kind of struggle to find our feet, or we have to apply a little bit of effort to shake off the winter blues and transition into that blossoming phase. So it's really nice to just kind of note that from observing nature and go, oh, cool, that's completely normal for me to experience that as well. And learning how to work with that and balance that will help that transition into blossoming and unfurling occur much more organically and with less resistance. So in our practice, applying a little bit of motion can help to increase heat in the body and really transition into that unfurling and bringing lightness as well, like using the breath to lighten things up a little bit and also dry up some of that moisture can help to decrease the actual physical congestion that we might feel. So we are going to be doing a vigorous practice today, but it's hatha vinyasa. It's not hardcore vinyasa. We do hold poses in between. We observe our breath. We take our time. We rest between vinyasas and just make sure that if you are practicing along this evening and you're feeling a little bit tending towards vata aggravated, or you are vata aggravated, just modify as needed and maybe reduce the number of flows or sun salutations. So, and that's the thing too, to think about when we are going to spring season. Just because you're vata doesn't mean you can't do these practices. They're still applicable to you. You'll just have to learn how to moderate things to suit your doshic balance and to work with your own body type or your own current state of whatever symptoms you're experiencing. So it's not off limits completely, but it's a good practice to note as things come up, how and when do I need to modify? All right. One of the other things I also love, just as a final note about our spring practice, is that it is rooted in kapha balancing. And because the season of spring is a kapha season, it has all of those positive qualities of kapha. So it has that peacefulness, the calmness, the steadiness. And when we have that support, if we are a little bit more inclined towards vata, we've kind of got our environment offering us a little bit more support with balancing. And then also in our body and in our practice, it is the season where you can kind of extend yourself a little bit more in your practice, where you've got the support of kapha with endurance, with steadiness of mind. So when you push yourself a little bit or explore your limitations, it can actually be a really healthy time to be doing that. Versus trying to do that in summertime, and it can increase the heat in your mind and body in a way that it tips you over the edge. Whereas springtime is kind of the time where you can play with your edge with a little bit more wiggle room. All right, let's begin sitting comfortably. Move the flesh away from your sitting bones. And place your hands on your knees, palms down, shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep breath in and lift into your spine, lift into the crown of your head. And exhaling, soften your shoulders down again, soften into your belly. And taking some time to become present in the room that you're in. Noticing the sounds around you. Starting with the sounds close by. And extending your awareness, tuning into the sounds a little further away. Noticing the feeling of the air on your skin. And your clothes resting on your body. And just doing a quick scan of your body, starting with your feet. You don't necessarily need to relax your body parts, just taking your awareness there, taking your breath there. Becoming aware of your legs and your hips. Become aware of your abdomen, your chest, your shoulders. Your arms, and your wrists and hands. And moving your awareness to your spine and just creating some awareness of your back, your spine, your head and your face. And bringing your awareness to your breath. And just taking a moment to meet your breath with appreciation. And just allowing your breath to flow naturally in and out of your nose. Just cultivating that sense of connection and appreciation to this natural flow of your breath. The organic occurrence of prana and oxygen entering and exiting your body, helping to keep our bodies alive. And we can also appreciate that beautiful connection of our breath to nature and our body, and the wonderful effect it can have on our mind as well. For our breathing technique today, we're going to practice Ujjayi breathing, which is really nice, heating breath. Great for helping to start to dry up some of the excess moisture from our winter season, that transition into spring. So when you're ready, inhaling through the nose and exhaling, keeping your mouth closed and rasping through your throat as if you're breathing out through the middle or center of your throat area. Just really taking your time with your exhale. Seeing if you can inhale for 4 and exhale for 4 with a rasping sensation. And one more breath. And relax into your regular breathing. And then we'll move into some Gauranga breathing. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale. And we'll begin on the next round. Inhale. Continue. One more time. Return to your regular breathing pattern, allowing the effects of the mantra to resonate through your mind and heart. Bring your palms together in prayer position. Begin to rub your palms together, generating some heat in your palms. And opening up your palms over your face, bringing that warmth to your face. Just gently pressing your palms into your face, a little nurture time. Maybe massaging into your jaw and neck. And then we're going to do a little big stretching, unfurl, getting out of bed stretch, and come over onto all fours. Stacking your wrists above your wrists, your shoulders above your wrists, and your hips above your knees. Spread your fingers and thumbs nice and wide. Warming up through our spine now. Inhaling, looking forward. Going through some cat-cow motions. Exhaling, rounding through the back, chin in toward your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Taking your time with your breath and syncing the movement with your breath. And trying to maintain Ujjayi breathing throughout your practice. One more time each way. Come back to center. Kind of taking the same action, but moving side to side. So sometimes we do a little bit of a linger where we just go into a compression from one side to the other, but just try and keep it nice and fluid, getting some steady rhythm happening, moving from side to side. And one more time each way. Inhale back to center, walking your hands forward and just taking a bit of a stretch in cat position. Nothing too intense, just opening and expanding through your chest. Maybe a little playful stretch into your shoulders. And inhale, pressing up onto all fours and step your right foot forward in between your hands. Coming up onto your knee and taking your hand to your front knee and just dropping down into a lunge. Taking a full breath here. And we're going to lift and lower for 5 breaths. Inhaling up. Exhale to surrender and open. Inhale, lift. Lifting through the core, lifting through your pelvic floor, engaging Mula Bandha. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We maybe have done 5, but I lost count. Exhale while I was instructing. And then hands to the floor and just moving back and forth. So doing a dynamic half split where you lengthen the hips back, toes back toward you, and reach your heart center forward. And then reaching forward, coming into a lunge. Exhale. Inhale, lunge, working the hips down. Inhale. Hands to the floor, exhale. Tuck the toes. We'll take a little warm-up downward dog here before moving to the other side. Opening up your fingers and thumbs nice and wide. Press the floor away, keeping your knees bent. Lifting into your sitting bones. Lengthen your spine, navel drawing in. And slowly lower your heels down toward the floor. Maybe lifting and lowering your heels, alternating from side to side to warm up. And stretch out in downward dog for a moment. And knees to the floor. Flatten out through your feet. Take your left foot forward. Coming up into a lunge position with your hands and your knees. And then moving with your breath. Exhale. Inhale, press into the knee, lift up, engage Mula Bandha. Exhale. I'm going to count on this side to show you guys I do know how to count to 5. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to the floor. And 5 movements. Again, just reaching back over the hips, flexing your toes back toward you. Heart extends forward and come forward. And step back. Lift back into downward dog. Take a nice big stretch in downward dog, lengthening your heels down, maybe bending through the knees if needed. And just taking your time here. And knees to the floor. Flatten out through your feet, diving your chest down, hips to the floor. Elbows working in, inhale. Taking a baby cobra, exhale, lower down, head to the floor. Inhale with your breath, elbows working into your ribs. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. A little bit higher each time. And then we're going to take a cobra pose, holding there for 5 breaths. Now pressing into your hands, adjusting your hips as needed, elbows working into your sides, and try to open up through your collarbones and expand open through your chest. Inhale, taking your gaze up, opening up through the throat. It's really common to have upper respiratory issues during the spring season. So using your practice to open up those areas can really help to minimize those imbalances and niggles. Exhale. Taking it back through child's pose. It's taking your spine in the opposite direction, softening into your hips. Then inhale, lift up through downward dog. Walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Belly over your thighs. Inhale, fingertips to the floor, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Start to straighten the legs a little more. Slide your hands up your shins. Exhale, wrap the arms around the legs and draw your chin right in toward your knees or shins. Then inhale, unfurl. Straighten out through the legs. Reach into your fingertips. Wow. Hands slide up the shins. Exhale, bend through the knees, curl in. Inhale. And exhale. Curling in one more time. And inhale. Exhale, bend through your knees, fold forward, and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Head is the last to come up. Interlock your hands behind you. Squeeze your palms together and open up through your chest. So again, we're just going to be working into that upper respiratory area, opening up through the chest and bringing that nice warming breath through there to help open up through the sinuses and open up through the chest. Using the heat of our breath, the circulation of our nice warm blood to help burn away any excess moisture. And then from here, bending through the knees, taking the belly to the thighs again, raising your arms up and over. Just encouraging your arms down toward the floor, letting your head hang heavy. Ujjayi breathing. One more breath here. And inhale, navel drawing in, leading up with your hands. Lift up. And release. Turn your palms forward. Make sure you're standing at the front of your mat and getting ready for some sun salutations. We're going to go through 5 rounds of sun salutes. Inhale with the main intention today of, yes, warming up the body, but also to increase circulation. And like I keep mentioning, the heat. Beautiful heating quality to help support the body. So inhale, hands to your heart center. When you're ready, inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward, bending the knees if you need to. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back into plank. And lower down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, lifting back into downward dog, holding for 3 breaths. Press the floor away. Roll your upper arms in toward each other. Lift into your hips and lengthen down into your heels. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, step your foot forward. Drop your back knee down and flatten your back foot. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back. Lower down. Inhale. Exhale. Downward dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward. Drop your back knee down, flatten your back foot. Inhale. Exhale. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Looking between your hands and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, round two. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back. Really trying to create a nice steady rhythm right in your breath. Exhale. Hold for 3 breaths. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale. Exhale. Step back, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale. Staying nice and present with every breath. Jump or step forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Inhale. Round 3. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back. Lower down. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, downward dog. 3 breaths. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale. Exhale. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Downward dog. Look between your hands and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Hands touch. Exhale to heart center. Inhale for the fall. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back. Lower down into chaturanga. Inhale into upward dog. Exhale, back into downward dog. Noticing how your body's feeling as you breathe. Very nice, full, deep breaths. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step through to lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back. Knees to the floor if you're getting fatigued. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step through. Inhale. Exhale. Step back. Inhale up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look. Jump a step. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale. Final round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump back. Chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, downward dog. 3 breaths. Pausing for reflection here. Noticing how your mind and body feel. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale. Inhale, reach up, lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back. Lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up, reach into the toes. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. And look to your hands, jump a step. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Open your palms forward. Take a couple of breaths here. Noticing that beautiful circulation, the warmth, the post-sunset alertness, but calmness. Taking one more breath here before we move into our standing sequence. All right. So coming into mountain pose, getting nice and grounded through your feet. I'm going to turn face on so I can see you guys, so you can see me. Shifting your weight to your left leg, getting nice and balanced through the left side, raising your right knee up, holding onto that right knee. Dynamic stretches, so like 5 breaths on this side. Lifting and lowering your knee, working into your hip joint. And also working on your balance. And when you finish 5 repetitions on your right side, lowering your right foot to the floor, getting nice and grounded first. And raise your left knee up, hugging your hands around your knee and drawing it into your chest. And release. Inhale to release, exhale to draw in. And release. Yep, steady. And relax into your legs. Interlock your hands once again behind your back. So the goal here is really to fan open through the chest and invite the breath in. So now we've got some of that heat built up in the body, just channeling the breath now, really focusing intently on bringing some nice warm breaths into your nice expanded open chest and lungs. So just taking 5 full breaths here, nice and grounded through your feet. Feeling your collarbones to be nice and broad and open. And if it helps, pressing back into your hands and accentuating that openness a little bit more. And for the final breath, inhale, raise the arms up, bring you into the shoulders. Lower the hands down, lower the arms. Release. Take a couple of shoulder rolls here. So we are going to vinyasa through a few of our standing poses today. If it feels like it's getting too much or it's aggravating in any way, just skip the dynamic transitions and use a more hatha transition, stepping from one pose to the other. So I'll leave that up to you to make that decision, whatever feels most appropriate for you today. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump back. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, inhale, going into high runner's lunge. So reaching into those right toes. Exhale, bringing your foot forward, placing your foot in between your hands, setting up your foundation first. Modified version is knee to the floor. Full version, lift the knee off the floor and press into that back heel. Squeeze your hips together, squeeze your buttocks. Inhale. Raise the shoulders above your hips. And sometimes just drawing in through your belly, scooping in through your belly can help to create a nice steadiness through your core. Shoulders down away from your ears, reach into your fingertips and drop down into that front thigh. So as you drop down into this thigh, press into that front foot and it'll help to create a bit of lift through this front leg. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to the floor. An option to step straight back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Exhale. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward. So taking your time to set up first. Lengthen into your back heel. And inhale. Shoulders stacked above your hips. Pressing down into that front foot, lengthen into your back heel. Soften down into that front thigh. And continue reaching up into your arms, your fingertips. Set the shoulders down away from your ears. Y'all know my love affair with high lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to the floor. Step back. Lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, the right leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward. Same setup, coming up through high runner's lunge. Anytime it's getting too much, just drop that back knee down. And then we're going to open up into the chest. So you're going to keep maintaining that high runner's lunge steadiness through your legs. Open up, standing back into the arms. So we're going through that chest opening experience again, inviting the breath in. Ujjayi breathing. And stay prayer and to the floor. Vinyasa to the other side or downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale the left leg up. Same again on the other side. Set yourself up first. Inhale. Hands come down through your heart center. And then expand, open. Broadening through your collarbones. Focusing on your breath. And release. Hands to the floor. Lower down. The last variation of high runner's lunge. Inhale, exhale, step into high runner's lunge and reaching up, setting yourself up first. Now interlocking your hands behind you and clasping the hands together and reaching the arms up until you feel a nice opening through the chest, settling down into the legs. For more intensity, dropping forward into a bow. Inhale. And exhale. Flowing over to the other side. I'm definitely feeling this in my legs. I can feel the heat, definitely cultivating some heat. Inhale. Exhale. Setting ourselves up first. Foundations first, and then interlock your hands. Expanding open, inviting the breath in. Maybe taking a bow, so shifting your weight forward over that front leg. Still opening up through your chest, breathing. One more breath here. Inhale. Release. Oh yes. Release now into blessed child's pose. Resting our thighs. And just relaxing your spine as well. There's a gentle little back bend in high runner's lunge. So just releasing now through the spine, through the hips, resting our legs. Taking 5 breaths here. You can, because we're still in the middle of our standing sequence, you can carry on with Ujjayi breathing if you like, or you can take a little mini holiday in child's pose. Soften your breath. No breathing techniques, just complete rest. And getting ready to slowly press up. Reaching your hands forward, lift into downward dog. And we'll jump our feet forward. Inhale. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. You guys can stay standing where you are, if you like, or come to the middle of your mat. Make sure you can face and see me. So coming into Garudasana now, eagle pose. I love feeling all warm and jazzed up from a good flow. Shifting your weight to your left leg, taking your time to come into the full expression of the pose. So toes to the outside of your foot first. Softly bend down through that left leg and then progress into wrapping your big toe around your left lower leg. Now, once you've got the legs kind of locked in, and then work on that foundation. So navel drawing in, scoop in through your belly, squeeze your hips in toward each other. Everything's locked and loaded into the center line of your body. And we are going to go into a bind with the arms, but first we're going to do working into the chest, expanding open, reaching out into your fingertips, turn your palms up. Eagles do fly with their wings outstretched. Inviting a nice Ujjayi breath in here. Before we come out of the pose, taking the left arm under, right arm over. Going to conflict with my mic here. Intertwining the arms, drop down a little deeper. Just for one more breath. And unfurl. Exhale. Take a breath, relax that leg. Now shift your weight to the right leg. Wrap the toes to the outside and then hooking the big toe around. And now start to squeeze in, squeeze the hips, scoop in through your belly. And when you feel nice and steady here, inhale, expand your wings out, reaching out into the palms. And then right arm under, no, left arm under, right arm over. Intertwining. Opposite combo of whatever you had last time. Dropping down into your legs, coming to full eagle. Ujjayi breathing. And unfurl. Exhale. Relax both your legs. And getting ready for standing wide leg forward fold. So if you're at the front of your mat, swinging one leg back. If you're in the middle of your mat, stepping your feet out wide. And slightly pigeon-toed feeling. Outside edges of your feet running parallel the edges of the mat. Inhale, hands to your hips. Exhale, folding forward. Now reaching into your sitting bones as you fold forward. Taking hold of your ankles, elbows bent. And drawing your upper body down in toward your legs. Keeping it quite active. Keeping your breath steady. Lifting the kneecaps and firming your thighs. Grounding down into the forefoot and the heels. Slightly lifted through your inner arches. And then walking your hands over to your left ankle, taking hold of your ankle as you draw your upper body in toward your leg. I'm trying not to heavy breathe in the mic, I'm so sorry. And keep lifting through your thighs. And walk your hands up and over to the other side. So we're really trying to wind down from our vigorous standing practice now. So getting the breath flowing nice and steady. Starting to cool down already. Moving into a more pacifying state. Walk your hands back to center. And then hands to your hips. Inhale. All the way up to standing. Come to the front of your mat. We're going to flow, take a slow flow down to a seated position. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, taking your time, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back into plank. And maybe taking knees to the floor, lower down. Inhale, over. Exhale. Lift back into downward dog just for a couple of breaths. Having a bit of closure of that more vigorous energy. And just a light spring. Let's come to a seated position. Whew. All right, now taking your legs out, stretched. Move the flesh away from your sitting bones. Pressing down into your hands, lift and lengthen. And exhale, walking your hands forward, folding forward, holding your soles of your feet, ankles, or your big toes as you actively lengthen forward and lift through your front body. Exhale. Surrendering forward. Playing with that balance of effort and surrender where you're engaging your thighs, lifting your kneecaps, flexing your toes back actively, and drawing against that point of contact. But at the same time, just letting go, trying to foster that attitude of softness and surrender as you actively engage in this position. Scooping up and in through your belly. Two more breaths here. And inhale. Walk your hands up. Bring your right foot in. Press your left heel away. Lift and lengthen. And fold forward. 5 breaths. Folding forward over your right leg. Left leg. This is my left leg, guys. That was a test. Inhale. Lift up. Standing out through your right leg now. Bringing your left foot in. Lift and lengthen. And fold forward. 5 breaths folding forward over your right leg. Taking your time with each breath. Nowhere else to be and nothing else to do. Just really practicing that mind awareness, that attentiveness to each breath. Slowly walk the hands up. Come around, bring the soles of your feet together, transitioning through butterfly pose to come into seated wide leg forward fold. So just taking a little moment here just to open up and externally rotate through your hips. And extend. I'm going to move back a bit. The camera. Extend the legs out. And flex your toes back toward you and start to walk your hands forward. Easing into a nice deep hip stretch. So we're going to take our time here. We'll spend a couple of minutes here. This is part of our kind of transitioning down into more yin energy sequence or poses. So from here, we're going to be going into some fun exploration poses and back bends and things like that. So making the most of this pose now where you can kind of just relax your feet. Don't worry too much about switching on your muscles. Just find a comfortable position where you can fold forward and hang out, taking it as a bit of a rest and rejuvenation pose in between some of our perhaps more intense experiences throughout our practice today. So once you've settled into a position that physically feels quite comfortable, and just checking in with yourself here, noticing how your body feels, noticing the state of your mind, the activity of your mind. Noticing the rhythm of your breath. And as we pause here, just asking yourself, what's coming up for me today? There's no right or wrong answers, just paying attention. And we know that our mind is not gospel as well. So whatever does come up, like, doesn't matter too much, but using this time to just have a bit of self-reflection. And just adjusting your physical position as your body starts to yield. And we're going to unfurl from this position. Noticing that experience of being in that deep state of internalization and kind of an immobile position, how it does take a little bit of effort to get back into motion. You have to go through that decision and then the effort to unfurl. And then when you do, it feels so good. Taking your time to lift up. Hands under your knees. Bring your legs back together. Hug your knees into your chest, forehead toward your knees. Taking your time. And just doing a little whatever kind of a stretch. A bit of your own unique unfurling is just doing whatever feels good. You know, right at the end of the practice, I always say, are there any little stretches or anything? Like right here, are there any little stretches that you want to take? Just feeling into your body. There's no rush to move on to the next sequence. So just doing whatever you feel your body is craving. And then from there, coming down to lay on your back. So we are going to go through bridge pose first, doing some dynamic bridges to warm up into our spine. And then we'll be moving into camel pose. And after camel pose, there will be an option to go into upward bow. Camel and upward bow both have really nice balancing qualities for spring because they invigorate the nervous system by activating the spine, which helps to just, you know, switch everything on. And then also that really pronounced chest opening and the deep breathing throughout that as well. So, which has been one of the primary focuses of today's practice. So if it feels like after doing camel, you think, nope, I'm not going to do another one and not going into bow as well, that's completely okay. Or if you'd like to choose upward bow and not do camel, you can go ahead and spend a bit of extra time just exploring upward bow. So make it your own practice. We'll go into bridge pose first. So feet to the floor, bringing your heels in nice and close to your hips. And with your palms down, just a gentle tuck of the tailbone as you lift your hips up. In your mind's eye, visualizing your spine lifting one vertebra at a time. And then exhale, it lowers down one vertebra at a time. And just moving up and down in this way, maybe a little bit higher each time. Exhale. Let's do 2 more rounds. And this articulating of the spine is really what you want to cultivate when we're going into camel pose. So instead of just reaching for our heels and blindly hoping to arrive in a back bend, seeing if we can move from our hips, from our lower back, and visualize your spine slowly, gradually articulating into a back bend. So let's do it one more time with that in mind. Visualizing your spine, lift. And exhale, visualizing it again as you lower down. And one more time, lifting up, coming into full bridge pose now, interlocking your hands under your body. Beautiful opening, expansion through your chest, inviting the breath in, maybe dry breathing. Press into your feet, lift the hips, lift through your chest. And exhale, release your hands, your shoulders, and then your spine. Hips are the last to come down. Gently rock your knees from side to side. hug your knees into your chest and rock yourself up to sit. So we'll go through modifications first, because I think even just an easy camel pose is a really nice chest opener as well, and can achieve similar benefits without having to go into a deep back bend. So if you're not feeling up to a big invigorating back bend, you can just take your hands back behind you, press into the floor, expand, open through your chest, lift the hips. And you can even lower your head back there as well if it feels safe and comfortable. Holding that position for a few breaths if you like. You can stay there, or if you'd like to move into the full pose, starting with your toes tucked under, hips stay stacked above your knees, lift and lengthen. Reaching your hands back for your heels. Press into your heels to create stability, and then lift and expand open through the chest, pressing your hips forward, taking your head back. Inhale, lift. Flatten out through your feet. If you feel you can go into the full pose with your feet flat, we'll go one more time. If you're done already, come down into child's pose. Inhale, lift and lengthen. So it's hard for me to instruct when I've got my head back, but just remember to keep breathing. Once you get into the pose, it can feel like quite a strain as you press down and try to keep your hips pressing forward. But your primary focus then, once you're in a physical position, is to get the breath as steady and flowing as possible. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, reach back. There we go. Hips to your heels. Fold forward. Head to the floor. Relax your back. Relax your hips. And breathe, softening through your breath. And press your hands into the floor, making your way down onto your belly. I'm actually going to use my bolster for this upward bow tonight. I really love the feeling of the support under the hips. And it allows me to focus more on that openness through the chest, and it allows me to breathe a little bit more easier as well. So I feel like tonight's goal of our practice, that's good. That's what I'm going for. Nice and open and easy breathing through the chest. So if you'd like to use your bolster, go ahead. If not, we're going to just take our time first to lay down on your belly, taking hold of your feet, stretching out first. This fun little knot, which is giving me a little belly release as well, myofascial release. Taking hold of your feet, pressing your heels into your hips. And just starting to press your hips into the floor to stretch out through your thighs. And adjusting your grip so that you're holding your ankles nice and firm. Flex your feet and get a nice kind of steady balance of pressing your feet away, but firmly gripping your ankles. So there's that direct relationship there that when you move your feet, it lifts your chest. So once that's nice and firm, you've got that connection, then lift. Lifting the feet up off the floor, lifting the chest. With my bolster here, my legs don't really lift up. Opening up through the chest. Breathing steadily. Lengthening your spine. And exhale. Head to the floor, release the feet. Turn your head to one side for a moment. We're going to do one more repetition. All right, when you're ready, making your way back into the pose, taking hold of your ankles. Lift up. Gently making your way into the pose, lift through your feet, raise the chest up, and breathe. Breathing steadily. And when you're ready, slowly release. Release the legs, hips. Coming back into child's pose as a counter pose. I'm going to use my bolster because it's here. You really want to just relax and round through your spine now. Easing back into just regular breathing now as we wind down our practice. Turning my head to the other side. 2 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. And slowly press yourself up. And come down to lay on your back. Hugging your knees into your chest, lengthen your tailbone down toward the floor. Stretch out through your spine, stretching into your hips, and then make some small circles with your knees. And opposite direction. And both feet to the floor. Windscreen wiping your knees from side to side. And take your knees all the way over to the right. Relax. Inhale, lift up. Over to the left. Relax. Inhale. Come back up to center. Straighten out through your right leg. Straighten out through your left leg even. Taking your right knee over to the left side of your body. Extending your right arm out at shoulder height. So usually we emphasize the spine and the twist in this pose. Your twist is still going to occur. Those benefits are still going to occur. We're just going to shift our awareness to our chest, to our breathing, with this nice broad opening across your chest. Just feeling how your ribs are nice and expanded here. Taking some deep breaths. Staying where you are here. Releasing this right arm and rolling further toward the floor. Over to to the left. And extending your left arm out at shoulder height and just resting here for a moment. Taking a few breaths. And balancing out all of that beautiful motion that we had throughout our practice with some nice restful inaction. Bring on some of the beautiful qualities of tamas. And now making our way over to the other side. I got to wiggle around a little bit so that I stay in the camera, but you can completely roll onto your back, straighten out through your right leg, and take that left knee over to the right side of your body without all the wiggling. Extending your arm out at shoulder height. And once you're in that gentle twist, or maybe it's intense for you, but just trying to relax into it and shifting your focus now to your chest, your ribs, your breathing, inviting the breath in, reconnecting with that appreciation for our breath. Noticing how nourishing it feels to just breathe deeply and do nothing else, just breathing. And from here, now rolling a little bit further over so that your left knee comfortably rests on the floor, extending your right arm out and just laying on your side comfortably, restfully. Already starting to enter a little bit into Yoga Nidra vibes here. Internalizing a little, quietening right down. All right, now slowly and carefully rolling onto your back. Taking any last poses or stretches that your body is craving. Maybe taking a little knees in just to relax through your spine. And then making yourself, when you're ready, no rush, making yourself comfortable in Shavasana. Because it is getting a little bit, this is a spring practice, but it's autumn here, which is a bit conflicting. But if you're feeling like it's a little cooler now, make sure you have a blanket handy for your Yoga Nidra component of your practice. And just making yourself comfortable. Feet naturally falling out to the sides. And turning your palms up to switch off the sensation of touch. And just wiggle your shoulders down away from your ears. Gently tuck your chin ever so slightly in toward your chest to lengthen through your neck. And feel all the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor getting heavier and heavier. Well, just taking your time here to relax completely. No sensations necessarily. Not seeking sensations or letting your awareness reach for anything. Just starting to let go Let your body be heavy. Let your mind be soft and relaxed. These practices of asana and pranayama, and especially the mantra breathing, Goranga breathing at the beginning of our practice, have sattvic qualities. And when our mind is in a predominantly sattvic state, which is what one of the primary aims of our practice is to cultivate sattva, it makes it easier for our mind to take on the qualities of Atman or Purusha, which is us, the spirit soul. So we're less disturbed by the mind and its material impressions, and we can become a little bit more attuned to our inherent state, which is blissful, loving, happy, content. That's why sometimes we might feel a little bit more able to access those beautiful qualities at the end of our practice. And just enjoying that feeling. And now I'm going to guide you through a regular, progressive relaxation. So all you need to do is relax each body part as I mention it. And for our mantra meditation today, we're going to be doing an extended Goranga breathing practice. So instead of kirtan, just doing a nice 10 or 15 rounds of Goranga breathing while we continue to lay on our back. So just taking your awareness down to the soles of your feet. Relax your toes, from your big toes to your little toes. Relax the soles of your feet. Your inner arches and outer arches. Feel your heels to be heavy as they rest against the floor. Relax your ankles. Relax your calf muscle. Soften into your knees. And soften into your thighs. Relax your left hip and your right hip. Feel the sides of your torso melting down toward the floor. Relax your belly, your chest, your lungs, and then soften into your heart center. Feel your collarbones broadening and relaxing. And relax your shoulders from the tops of your shoulders down and around your shoulder blades. Relax your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists and hands. Become aware of the gentle prickling sensation of prana circulating your palms. Moving your awareness to your lower back. Feel your sacrum broadening and softening. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Feel all the muscles either side of your spine, relaxing and releasing. Feel your head getting heavier and heavier as it rests against the floor. Soften into your face. And feel your eyes to be heavy. Relax your jaw. Your lips are softly touching. Your entire body feels heavy and relaxed. You feel safe and warm. Just taking a few breaths here in this beautiful state of conscious awareness. And now tuning into your breath as we transition into some Goranga breathing. So at the beginning of our practice, we are quite vocal, and quite assertive in the way that we enunciate the mantra. But here at the end of our practice, it's completely okay to just breathe in a nice gentle breath cycle and going in your own rhythm. Just meditating on the sound Goranga, bringing it into your mind as you inhale and saying it out loud as you exhale. But it doesn't need to be a big booming vocalization of the mantra. Just letting it be comfortable and really focusing on bringing the sound into your mind and then gently saying the sound out loud and just looping around the sound in through the mind and out of the lips. So I am going to be a little bit more vocal. You're welcome to join in as you feel comfortable and just going in your own time. It doesn't matter if we don't all sing together. last time. Return to your regular breathing. Taking a moment of appreciation for our practice, for having been given these techniques, which we can access at any time and it doesn't cost us anything. Gratitude for all that the yoga system brings to our lives. And then beginning to wake up our body, just gently wriggling your fingers and toes. And maybe again, just revisiting or observing that feeling of emerging from heaviness. It can feel quite beautiful, but it does require a little bit of effort. It does require a bit of a process. And slow activation, unfurling and reaching out into your limbs, your fingers, your toes, lifting into the crown of your head, unfurl. And then rolling over onto your right side and rest for a moment, taking your hands under your face. And pressing yourself up to sit. And we'll close off our practice by bringing our hands together in prayer position. Bowing our heads to offer our respects to each other. And bowing our heads once more to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming to practice. Now you're all hatched and unfurled. You can go ahead and blossom. Next phase of spring is to blossom.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Sweet dreams. I'll see you guys online soon. Bye, Leanne. Bye, Chiz. Bye, Sam. Mwah. Hugs. See you later.